Hi, my name is Janelle and you're watching Everyday Jane, where I make homemade delicious food. And today I'm making garlic baked beans from scratch, and they are delicious, perfect for breakfast, perfect for any time of the day really, and I can't wait to show you how to make them, so let's get started. So these beans start with preparation. They're so easy to make on the day of if you just spend that extra little bit of time preparing them ahead. One of the best ways to start beans off is by giving them a good soak, ideally overnight, but you can do this for a few hours. I did it for 1 hour and I think it will do the job. It really just helps to reduce the cooking time for these beans. And after your beans have soaked, you want to put your beans into a medium saucepan, and to it you want to add some flavor. This is how you're going to infuse these beans with some really good flavor right off the bat that you're not going to get with canned beans, really. So I like to add some olive oil, about 2 tablespoons, a bit of salt, 1.5 teaspoons, and 2 bay leaves. And then you want to cover these beans with some water, approximately 4 cups of any kind of liquid, but here I'm using some vegetable stock, really just to amp up that flavor. So next you want to bring this pot to a boil, and once it comes to a boil, you want to lower the heat down to a simmer, put the lid on, and let it go for maybe 1.5 hours to 2 hours, just until that bean is soft. And I did this the day before, so we're starting off now with beans that have been soaking in that delicious liquid for 24 hours, and it's gonna make for the best baked beans. So now I'm left with these white beans that have actually sat overnight in that fragrant, flavorsome broth that we simmered it in, and this is gonna give you the best head start, and these beans are gonna be much better than you would use if you had canned beans, for example. But if you would like, you can swap this with already cooked canned white beans, feel free, and then just spice it up later on with the other condiments that we're going to add to these beans. I've got my white beans here. I've actually separated it from the liquid. I've strained them. I'm actually gonna pull out the bay leaves. We don't want that in the final product. Gotta go hunting for the next one. There it is. And here I have the broth that came from it. Look at that color. This is veggie broth, olive oil, and then some salt, and it is just perfect. I'm gonna use some of this broth as well, so don't discard it. So I'm just going to put these aside for now, and we'll get started on the base for these beans. And as per usual, you'll find with me, because of my Filipino roots, I'm starting with a lot of garlic. You can use 3, 4, really however much garlic you want. I'm calling these my garlic baked beans because I'm gonna use a fair bit. I'm going to add about 7 cloves of garlic. They're small, okay, to a mortar and pestle. And maybe I'll start with 3 at a time. And I'm just going to smash these, and the skins come off so easily when you do that. So what I did is just bruise the garlic here. You can see the pieces aren't super small. I've left them a little bit chunky. They don't need to be perfectly smooth or in a paste or anything like that. I just want to release a lot of this gorgeous garlic flavor. So now I have my garlic in my medium saucepan, and I'm just going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and we're just going to start to cook this off until it is fragrant and slightly soft. So the garlic is looking perfect, ready, slightly golden. All right, so now we're going to add the next ingredient, which is tomato paste. I'm going to use a full can of tomato paste here because it has just so much concentrated tomato flavor. I'm really going to add to the delicious umami flavor in this garlic baked beans. So baked beans. So into the pan, this tomato paste goes. So I'm just gonna let this fry off for maybe about 2 to 3 minutes, just for a little while until that tomato paste is fully cooked through. So this is ready for our cooked white beans. So I'm putting them right into the pot. And you can see I still have a little liquid in the bottom there. That's perfectly fine. We're actually gonna add a little bit of more liquid to this. I'm gonna say maybe about 1/2 cup for now, but we'll see how it goes as we go on. And we'll give that a really nice mix just to incorporate everything. Try to be gentle with the beans, especially if you cook them as soft as I did. So it's time to add some of our other key flavor elements to this. I'm gonna sort of talk about them a little bit. Firstly, I'm going to add some maple syrup. So baked beans typically have a slightly sweet flavor, but we're not gonna do it with corn syrup or anything like that. We're gonna do it with some yummy, yummy maple syrup, specifically for that additional boost in maple flavor. I think it's a really great complement to the garlic and the tomato and everything. We're also going to add my favorite little ingredient here and my Asian twist, which is some dark soy sauce. This is for color. Yes, it's going to add to a more dark red final product, but it also adds just a boost of flavor, right? Who doesn't love soy sauce? And I promise it's not gonna taste like soy sauce at the end of it. Perfect, so I'm just going to let this cook down for maybe 10 to 15 minutes and we'll give it a taste and see what it needs. These baked beans are looking really, really good. Some of the water has evaporated and what you saw me do there was to add a little bit more of that boiling bean liquid that I used earlier just because I like it to have a bit of sauce. I like to have something for my bread to dip into. So it's time to taste and see if I need to add anything here. Wow, it's so garlicky. That is so good. I think I'm just gonna add some black pepper and we're gonna call it a day. It doesn't need really any more salts or anything like that. That maple kind of hits you in the back there. The sweetness, oh, it is so good. So these garlic baked beans are all ready and I'm ready to have a taste. But before that, I've got a piece of homemade sourdough bread here that I'm going to enjoy it with. So let's plate up. And I'm going to add a bit more black pepper, some basil herb salt, just for that little bit of brightness and color. And just for that little bit more decadence, I'm going to add some fresh Parmesan here. Perfect. All right, so here I have my plate of baked beans with bread, and it's perfect on a day like today because it is wintry, blistery outside, and you just want something warm for the soul. I would happily eat this for a dinner. Maybe I would pair it with a vegetable or salad, something like that, or try to at least, but I'd eat this any meal of the day. Let's dig in. Please do try this. It is so delicious. You don't expect beans to be delicious, but I was vegetarian for about 6 years, so I learned how to make vegetarian protein alternatives really tasty in that time. This is one of the recipes that I developed, and I stand by it. It is so tasty, so garlicky, full of flavor, and will surely warm you up this winter season. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope to see you at a future video. Thanks.